So they told you to get a good job, save for retirement, invest in mutual funds, and maybe by age 65, you'll be rich. But what they didn't tell you is that there is a way to shortcut all of that by buying a profitable business that prints cash. And that's the subject of today's video. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am your host, Leo Landaverde, business broker and commercial lender, helping you buy and then scale a profitable business. Are you a small business owner looking to increase your wealth? Or a W-2 employee sick and tired of the rat race wanting to get out by buying a profitable business? Then you are in the right place. Please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell and you'll be notified every Thursday when new content comes out. Okay, so I'm going to be reading through some notes here as I'm looking. So I'm looking down is because I'm trying to figure out what my next thing is going to be. So the premise, why buying businesses works. Well, let's talk about what most people do. Most people think that starting a business is the way to go. And let me tell you, having been in business for 20 years, 20 plus years, since 2004, having bought businesses versus starting ones, I have a better performance out of the businesses that I bought. And the reason is simple. When you're buying an ecosystem, a cash flow system, a business has been around for 20 plus years, all of the kinks and all of the trial and error that goes on in the first 4 years, 5 years of a business have been figured out. Now we have a cash flow stream. 90% of most businesses that are startups fail within the first 5 years at astronomical high failure rate. And I think a lot of people don't tell you that. I think you hear the very glamorous world of startups, but a lot of them don't make it. In fact, here's one thing that you should know. I'm in the world of private equity where I help sell businesses to private equity groups and family offices, those who actually write checks for cash. And they'll tell you that they expect, particularly when they are in the startup phase, the venture capitals before they become private equity groups, they actually expect a failure rate of 90%. So if they have a fund of $100 million and they deploy, let's say, $10 million investments into 10 startups, they expect 90% of them to not make it. But the one that does make it will be a unicorn, right? There's only so many Facebooks and so many Twitters and so many LinkedIns that go to market, that for every one of them, there's 9 plus that won't make it. So that's why starting a business is very dangerous. So here is where the trend is your friend. There are right now 10 million baby boomer owner businesses in the US right now that will basically either be sold or go out of business in the next 10 years. Not because they're failing, but because the owners are retirement and have no succession plan. This is kind of a big deal. A lot of business owners that I deal with that are trying to figure out their exit plan, there is no next of kin. There is no son or daughter who's going to take over the business. There's no qualified GM employee who's going to do it. So either they keep working until they drop or they close the doors on perfectly legitimate cash flowing businesses as per the tax returns. Get a load of this. 10,000 boomers retire every day, and 70% of them have no exit plan. This is why there is all this spotlight on buying profitable business, because the premise works. What you're buying is a very fragile but proven ecosystem of cash flow. And what we do is we hack into that cash flow stream, assuming that all the variables are right. The customer concentration, the vendor concentration in the right industry, AI proof, pandemic proof, recession proof on industries that are very much needed. I call it pain-related businesses where people must pay for those, i.e. the home services, the professional services, where you actually need somebody to perform the work, or there is a product that is in dire need that you actually need to be able to, the household products. So the opportunity is there, and it'll be there so long as there are baby boomers retiring. But that eventually will come and will come to pass. So right now, our students, we're actually capturing businesses under contract every week. And just to give you an idea of some of the things that we're actually are looking at. So, for instance, a engineering firm with $600,000 worth of annualized cash flow. wholesale apparel business with $806,000 worth of cash flow, seller discretionary earnings per year per tax returns. We're not talking P&Ls. We're not talking the owner thought that this was a good business and they add up the bank statements. These are accrual-based tax file on a cash base, proven and vetted by SBA lenders and an entire M&A group. We're looking at deals that are anywhere from $250,000 in cash flow to multi-million-dollar cash flow deals. They're happening every day. Now, we actually were talking about a deal today, and one of the things that we teach is the opportunity is there. And here's what I find amazing. Most business owners have no idea how much their business is worth. So think about that. Now, if a business owner doesn't know how much their business is worth, it could be a good thing and a bad thing. And one of the things that we teach inside of our group is how to actually ascertain the value of a business when it's off market. Okay, so wherever you are in the process, I'm sure you have questions. Whether you are trying to figure out your buy box, trying to talk to SBA lenders, making offers, or reaching out to brokers and you're not hearing anything back, trying to figure out post-debt service cash flow, what is the ideal debt service cash flow, when you should be looking at financials and asking for tax returns, and probably 1,000 other questions. We are here to help. We created this channel as an outlet to help folks like you who are buying a business have a place to come and learn. So drop me a comment below or reach out to me. My email address is up here or down here. And let's connect and let us help you come up with a plan to help you buy a profitable business in a way that is defensible. And the question that we ask ourselves is, how much debt can this business afford? How much can this business afford itself? How much debt can you put on this business before it becomes unprofitable for the buyer? And we look at how much post-debt service cash flow is there. This is a numbers game. So you have to put in the work, you have to source, you have to find those business owners, but they're there and they're every day. And you know what? It's one stat that I talk about all the time, if you've been watching my videos for any time, is that 90%, actually only 10% of buyers buy it. 90% of buyers will never buy because they become their worst enemies. The 10%, the ones, the buyer who buy, and actually inside of our group, their ads are stacked better. We're about 20 to 25% of all of our students end up buying. But there is that element of analysis paralysis. Sometimes a buyer will look at too much data and not make an offer. Well, the professionals know that, so they're going to take advantage of that. Now, here's the other side of it. Of the businesses, all the 2.5 million businesses that are for sale today, only 20% will sell. Now, a lot of brokers in my industry don't do a very good job. And we have a lot of realtors and commercial real estate agents impersonating business brokers, taking businesses to market, which really upsets me. They throw a number at the wall, see if it sticks. They have no reasoning for the asking price. And it is up to the buyer to figure out what the business can afford based on the debt that you're going to put in it. We don't do it that way. So there is a lot of misinformation out there. So you have to look at this as you're looking at it. Now, the reason why this is so profitable, and one of the things that I want you to think about in terms of your mindset is cash on cash returns. Now, for every dollar that you put out there, how much money comes back? Now, when you're looking at commercial real estate, and when you're looking at apartment buildings, to get a capitalization rate of 8%, annual rate of return of 8%, 9% is pretty good. When you have money on a money market account and you're getting 3%, you get excited. The kind of deals that we look at when we actually look at the cash on cash return is not uncommon for us to look at a deal in which you put a 10% down payment on $1 million purchase. Let's say have some seller financing, your 10% seller financing, 10% equity injection from you, and a $1 million purchase on $350,000 worth of cash flow, on a $200,000 post-debt service cash flow, and you put in $100,000 and you have $200,000 come back. Now, mind you, you still need to pay yourself a salary. But let's say you just pay yourself $75,000 or $100,000. You still have $100,000 left for capital expenditures. Now, if you maintain everything the way you should and you actually bought this business right, and I'm not saying you should offer 3x on every cash flowing business that you look at. I'm just illustrating. If you put out $100,000 into an equity injection, and in the very first year you earn those $100,000 back, what is your cash on cash return? It's 100%. Is there any other investment out there that comes even close? There is none, and that's what I love teaching folks how to buy profitable businesses. It's something that I've been involved in for 10 plus years. And I'm a licensed M&A advisor and intermediary, and I help sellers sell their businesses. And knowledge is power. What you have to understand is the more you know as a buyer and the more you're equipped to make a respectable offer to a seller. Now, if a seller if we're talking an off-market business owner who wants to sell their business, don't know how the business works, imagine what we do is we help you put together a free complimentary valuation of their business. All we need is a few pieces of financial information. We can do that. We are providing a service. Either these businesses will sell if they are profitable, or they will shut down. And a lot of them have 8, 10, 12 employees or more. Employees that have been around for 10, 20 years. This is the beauty of the SBA loan program, the 7A program, which is the one that we do most deals on. The 504 is for commercial real estate, but the 7A is for actually buying the goodwill of a business or the cash flow of a business. And that's because it creates and preserves employment. This and that what this country is all about. Create job creation and job preservation. There's no other program out there that would allow you to do that. And for those who watching who understand the 7A loan program, it is a blessing because the banks actually get guarantees up to 80 to 85% for every dollar they put out there on a loan to acquire a business. There is no better time than now. The best time to buy a business is today. And if you really think about it, you should. And how can you get it started? So I'm going to give you a few things. You got to pick your criteria. You got to start deal sourcing. You got to line up your funding. And you got to do smart due diligence, which is something that we teach. If you want to know more, reach out to us. Our business acquisition mastery group is growing, and we're looking for a few more folks that we can help. And we have some successful, great track record. And of course, it's all about buying businesses, and that's what we do. So if you want to know more, reach out to us. For a limited time, we're giving away these 2 tools that are free for you for watching my channel. So one is the Deal Analyzer, and the other one is our Buyer's Checklist. The Deal Analyzer, which I think has been downloaded about 4,000 times, has a lot of the basic formulas you're going to need to figure out quickly within 10 minutes how much a business is worth. It's not the nitty-gritty science that we teach inside of our paid group, but it's enough for you to understand what goes on in a business valuation. And the other one is basically a punch list of things that you need to know when you're buying a business that you don't want to forget and get in trouble when you're trying to buy a business. Those are my gift to you. Please download them.